Girl Reenie.
I am black 365 days a year, baby. You better know it. Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. So for today, I'm going to be doing a Black History Month setup for a nursing home. And as you can see, I'm stuffing my van with as many of these balloons as possible, child. So normally I would use a transport bag or not a transport bag, a mattress bag to transport my balloons. But I'm finding it's actually easier for me to stuff my van with the balloons loose, just because it helps me fill up the spaces in the van a little bit better than if it was in the actual plastic bag. So you can see the plastic bag, I actually have it stuffed in one of those reusable bags down there at the bottom. When I get to the venue, or when I get to the place where the nursing home rather, I'm gonna take the balloons and I'm gonna put them in the bags to help me bring them into the building. But to stuff my van, I find that I can get more balloons when I don't use the bag. You see that little spot? You best believe I went inside my house and I blew up another cluster because I had a beautiful little spot right there in the corner and I stuffed that sucker. Of course, the goal is to get as many just because it helps you with timing. When you get to the spot, you want to be able to just get right into building your garland. You don't want to waste too much time inflating. So it's just less work once you get to the venue. So as you can see, just like I was saying, I'm now using my transport bag. Why am I calling it a transport bag? I'm now using my mattress bag to carry in the balloons because it would be very tedious carrying cluster by cluster by cluster. So as usual, I started the setup thinking that I was recording and I was not. But no worries, I'm going to be able to show you still how I attach the balloon garland to the wall. So this is going to be a balloon wall, actually not a garland. And there's no stand. So luckily there were nails at the top there. You see me now tying a 260Q. I tied that to the nail and then I tied the 260Q into a loop, and that's what I'm going to use to attach the balloon wall at the top. Now at the bottom there was nothing for me to tie a 260Q to, so I went ahead and I used gaffer's tape and a 260Q, and I used the H method to attach the garland. Not the garland, the balloon wall. So the top I use a nail, the bottom I use gaffer's tape, and I use the H method. You see me inflating the black balloons. Now most of the black balloons that I used for this install were 18 inches. And obviously the bigger the balloon, the more space they take up in the van. So I left those 18 inches for the venue, not the venue, the nursing home. And I blew those up at the nursing home because they would have taken way too much space in the car. So to build my balloon wall, whether or not I'm using a stand, I use the same method. I build columns and then I attach the columns together side by side. I normally don't do like a pattern. As I do like most of my garland, I just do random, making sure that I'm not putting too much of the same color in one spot. So here you can see I'm just adding cluster by cluster, making the columns. And normally you guys know that I tie the necks, like I try to tie the necks as much as I can. And I'll tie the necks of the columns side by side. But honey, let me tell you, me and those necks were fighting that day and the next one. So I had to whip out a 260Q to help me attach the columns together for all the spots that I could not tie by necks. So down here at the bottom, you see that I'm attaching this column to the other column by tying the necks. And then up at the top, you're gonna see me struggle a little bit because I was determined. But guess what? Those necks were even more determined. And then I had to go grab a 260Q. So I use the 260Q, I wrap it around one column and I bring it around to the next column and I tie a knot. I know you're not really seeing exactly what I'm doing. Like, I wish I could go a little more up close and personal, but because I was recording in the nursing home, you know, I couldn't really go into detail with the recording. So maybe one day I will do a balloon wall tutorial and just go a little bit more in depth with like the techniques. So this spot that you see me recording is a wall right across from the main elevator. So it's high traffic. That's why you see a bunch of people walking past, child. I was getting a lot of comments. I don't think I've ever done a setup with so much traffic. Like, normally it's at the beginning, or it's not the beginning, it's before an event starts and there's not that many people. But today's setup, you know, nursing homes are 24 hours. So people were coming in and out of those elevators like crazy, and I was getting tons of compliments. You know, a girl was gassed. But yeah, it was right across from the elevator. So people entering the building, people going up and down, it's right there for everybody to see. So it was really a perfect spot, a nice little spot for the balloon wall to go. Guys, do you see how this woman just snuck up behind me with her little old man? I nearly tumbled over this man. Oh my goodness. That would have been a disaster. Okay, so I'm approaching the size that I want. I'm right there by my loop, so I'm attaching the bottom. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach the top as well. And that's gonna get the job done pretty well. The balloon wall is hugging the actual wall quite snug. It's not hanging loosey-goosey or anything. So obviously my balloon wall is a square shaped or quadrilateral. Gosh, I feel like I'm back in school teaching. But the corners, in order to get the corners to square out a little bit, to edge out a little bit, to give me a little bit more of that 90-degree angle, I take a smaller cutler with less balloons and I put it at the corners. And that helps, just like you guys saw in the Valentine's Day video, that helps to edge out my square a little bit better. So I was recording from this angle, right? Because again, I'm right across from the elevator and I didn't want to put the camera right in front of the elevator because people would bump it down. So I had to kind of put it at the corner. But I really want you guys to see, one, how the shape came out because of adding those two clusters, and then also how I fill in the gaps. So you can see that 260Q there showing. I just took a dupe. I just took a couple balloons and I twisted it around the 260Q. Obviously that didn't fill in the gap quite well enough, so I just grabbed another balloon, sized it down, and just tied it by the neck. And that's what I'm going to do for all the holes. I'm just going to grab a couple more balloons and I'm just going to tie them by the necks, filling in all those gaps. So as I was saying, like, this was a very high traffic area, being right at the front of the building by the main elevators. So your work right, is you're advertising your work pretty much. So you want to make sure you have your business cards ready to go for a moment like this. Do you have a business card? I do. I'm a nerd, I know. But on a serious note, you do want to make sure, like, when you are doing a setup in a public space like this, you want to make sure you're putting forth your best effort, making sure your things look amazing, right? You want to be working well. You want to look, you want to look like you know what you're doing. And of course, have things like a business card, or I don't know, like a QR code maybe somebody can scan, just to help advertise and to market. Because there are so many simple things that we can do, but if you're like me and you're not like a marketing genius and like that's not your strong suit, here, these are little tips that you definitely want to take up. And it does help. You simply setting up in a public space is marketing, is advertising your work. So when somebody does ask you for a card or does ask you for information, make sure you have that ready to go. Because a lot of business that you're going to get is going to be from people who see you do work for others, and also like word of mouth. Yeah. So that was me pretty much like preaching to myself. I swear. Because anyway, marketing is not my thing. And sometimes I'd be really, really shy about my stuff, but I've definitely come a long way. I've definitely been pushing more as of late, since and as soon as I started to do that, business started rolling in. So you just gotta get over that little fear. You just gotta push yourself, and you will see results. You will see a difference. As like Jamaicans say, nothing tried, nothing done. Like if I don't try a thing, nothing is gonna happen. You get me? So through all that rambling, I was attaching the 5-inch clusters the same way I always do it, which is 5-inch clusters and elastic bands. These are really nice. Like I'm gonna have to go back and collect these because these are wood. These are made out of wood. They're like ornaments. And they come with these strings to attach. They're pretty light, so I'll probably use glue dash to attach them to my garlic. I am Black History. Really, really cool. Love. And it says Black History Month. What else? I'm Black and I'm Proud. Probably keep this one of these ones. Another Black History Month. Just really cool. And the price, really reasonable. Oh my gosh, I love this one. Rainbow. There's so many, oh my gosh. I am Black 365 days a year, babe. You better know it. You're all equal with the lips. I wish the lips said something else. I like the lips. So yeah, I just wanted you guys to get a closer look at these little ornaments that I'm going to be attaching to my balloon wall. Again, I'm using glue dashes. Very lightweight, very cute. I'm going to have these linked in my description box because they can be used for a bunch of different things. I think they're really, really super cute. And people need to know about these. I got them from Amazon. And again, they'll be linked in my description box below. So that's the last thing I'm going to do for the balloon garland. Actually, I lied. I'm also going to spray this sucker with some balloon spray. Now, tell me if I'm tripping. Listen to this woman, okay? What? It's Black History Month.
Oh, so why are you doing this?
Girl, you just asked me what is this for, and I told you it's Black History Month, and then you're gonna still ask me, well, why are you doing this? Now, I don't know if I'm tripping. I took it a certain type of way, but I'm not going to say. I'm going to let you guys comment and you guys tell me, what did you make of that little situation? Because it kind of triggered me. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, back to positivity, back to celebrating our great blackness, back to this beautiful balloon wall, which is now complete. Tell me what you think. Thank you again for watching another video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. And I will see you in the next one.